going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. You know, just about everyone right now is talking about, on the prepper channels anyway, is talking about the coming lockdown, the coming mandates, because it's obvious what they are planning. In fact, I made a video about this myself about a week and a half ago, talking about this was coming here in a couple of months. Probably they'll pick it up in about a month, and then in a couple of months it'll be declared another health emergency, more lockdowns, more mandates and things like that. It's coming because you can see not just in the prepper channels talking about this, but also the mainstream media, the politicians. Like I said, Joe Biden's already pushing a new vaccine that everyone should take, and certain companies right now are already pushing for mask mandates to come back and things like that. So it's obvious what they have planned and what is coming. And I think this next time is going to be much more authoritarian than the last time was. The last one was pretty bad, but I think this next one's going to be even worse. And here in Tennessee, it wasn't too bad the last time. We had school closures, we had like mask mandates going into Walmart, going to the dentist, going to the doctor's office, you had to put a mask on and things like that here in Tennessee. But overall it wasn't too bad. I think that one employer here in the county where I am actually mandated this because they are a military contractor with the federal government. So I think that was the reason they mandated this, and a lot of the employees took that instead of losing their job. And it's all coming back, and like I said, next time's going to be even worse. In fact, during the last pandemic, Governor Lee didn't push, a mask mandate here in Tennessee. He left it up to the local mayors and town councils and things to push that on their counties and on their cities and throughout the state. Kind of like Trump did. Trump didn't have no lockdowns and mandates. He left it up to the state governments. And we seen Governor Lee the last time do the same thing. However, when Governor Lee did that, he was in his first term. Now he's in his second term, and he's only allowed 2 terms as governor here in Tennessee. So he's going to push, I think, much more draconian measures. He's going to try to enforce these much more aggressively, in my opinion. In fact, he tried, I think, to show his best side during the first pandemic. He did have a stay-at-home order that I don't think most people even listen to. I know as soon as I heard about his stay-at-home order, I went out and drove around, took trips and things and everything else here in the county where I am. And in fact, they were monitoring the cell phone data here in Tennessee. And they were seeing where people were going, how they were traveling. And in fact, here where I am, the traffic, people going here and there and everywhere else, actually increased after his stay-at-home order. So he tried the first time but didn't push it too aggressively. However, I think this next time here in Tennessee he's going to, because he has already been showing that he is actually a far left liberal, in my opinion, or at the very best a rhino Republican, because he's been pushing red flag laws here in Tennessee. Thankfully, the Congress here in Tennessee, the state Congress, shut that down, and he didn't get that through, but he was pushing for those red flag laws very aggressively, even called for a special session to bring the Congress together to vote on that red flag laws plus some other measures. If he had a whole list of medications, now if you were on those medications, you automatically got your guns taken, and all kinds of draconian gun control measures they didn't push during his first term. But like I said, he's in his second term now, so he's going to push these things more aggressively, including during this next pandemic that we all know is coming. He is, in my opinion, no better than the governor of Kentucky. But the governor of Kentucky last time, the last pandemic, he tried to push lots of things. He had his state police going around to churches and things, trying to get the license number of people having church against his executive orders. But the affair of Kentucky, the state Congress took all his power away. They seen what he was doing. He was trying to become a dictator, so the state Congress took all his power away. However, here in Tennessee, from my understanding, I'm not a professional in the law, but from my understanding here in Tennessee, if the governor declares a state of emergency, he pretty much has dictatorial powers, takes all the power away from the Congress, and he can pretty much do whatever he wants to do. So if that happens, and there's another federal declared emergency, and the World Health Organization declares a health emergency, the federal government does also, then Governor Lee here more than likely will call a state of emergency here for Tennessee, and he will have pretty much the powers of a dictator here over the state. And I think he's going to push much more aggressively this time, all the mandates, all the lockdowns and things like that. However, here in Tennessee, the sheriff's departments and police departments will have to enforce these things, because in Tennessee, the state police isn't really a state police. It's a highway patrol here in Tennessee. We have the TBI, which is just to investigate crimes and things like that, murders and things. But we have just a highway patrol, not really a state police like they do in Kentucky, so it's a little bit different. The law enforcement, local law enforcement for any type of mandates would fall on the sheriff's department. So maybe your sheriff in your county won't enforce any of the governor's mandates, but maybe the governor might be able to take action against the sheriff somehow if he has these executive state of emergency type powers he's going to claim during the next one, I think. So who knows how bad it's going to get, but I do think it's going to be another lockdown, another bunch of mandates for stay-at-home orders, shut your business down, shutting schools down, home education, more of these, more mask mandates and things like that. It's coming, and I think that they want this to be a pretty much permanent thing. They might have a month lockdown because of climate emergency. They've been pushing that also because global warming. We have to stay home and turn our air conditioning off, turn our heat off and sit there and freeze or burn up in the summertime. Stay home, don't eat meat for a month or whatever. All these mandates are coming out with, they want this to be permanent. They want climate lockdowns. They've talked about this before, climate lockdowns. However, I think it's going to be a mixture of pandemic virus lockdowns and climate lockdowns. It's going to be just keep on going over and over and over again until the people finally get sick of it and just say we ain't doing it anymore. And the sheriffs say the same thing. The local police department says the same thing. Your mayor says the same thing. Your alderman says the same thing. We're not going to do this. We're not going to enforce this. It's over. And that's what's going to have to take. That's why I say we need to focus on political efforts locally with our town sheriff, with our mayors, with our aldermen, and not worry so much about the federal level, because in my opinion the federal level is already gone. And Governor Lee here in Tennessee, in my opinion, isn't worth that. He isn't worth anything at all in my opinion, because he's trying to push these red flag laws and all kinds of laws against the Second Amendment. And I've talked about this before. There's no need for red flag laws. All red flag laws is the government taking more power for themselves and taking power away from you, allowing them to disarm you for whatever reason they see fit. Whatever excuse they have, they can disarm you without any cause, without a trial or anything like that. The governors can, the mayors can, your alderman can, your neighbor can, whatever. It's to give the government more power to disarm whoever they want to, whenever they want to. It's not about your safety or anything like that. It's about giving the government more power to control who has firearms. It's as simple as that. And you'll have people say, oh, we've got to have red flag laws because we've got to stop these people from having these, from carrying out these mass shootings and things. Because they think that if someone's threatening those things, that is not against the law apparently already. They can't be arrested for that, and that's complete opposite of what the truth actually is. If you are making threats, if you're threatening to do harm to a school, a church, a company, a person, you're actually making threats either online or offline, and those threats are proven, they can come in and arrest you. It's called terroristic threatening. They can put you in jail for that. They can disarm you already and charge you with the crime. So we don't need red flag laws to stop people from threatening other people. Because if you're threatening something, which is what they're trying to say the red flag laws are all about, if someone is threatening, we need to be able to go into and arrest them. And they already can. It's already on the books. In every state, as far as I know, you cannot go make threats of violence against any organization, against any person, without it being a criminal offense. They can come and arrest you, take you to jail, take you to a mental institution, take your guns already. They don't need red flag laws. It's just to give them more power. And it's just like these lockdowns. They want more power, and they want to rule by executive order and stay in a constant state of emergency. Use the media to push that. The media will push it over and over and over again, the case numbers, the death numbers, the death numbers. Just like they did the last time. Get everyone sufficiently horrified. And most of the people will put on their mask, take their injections, do their lockdowns and things. But like I said, this time it's going to be worse, and especially worse here in Tennessee. Because Governor Lee, he's already shown his true colors. He's already shown that he is a far left, beating heart liberal in my opinion, or at best, like I said, a rhino Republican, because, you know, horsefly, I think it is, guys. And even Donald Trump pushed for the red flag law, so that kind of turned me against Donald Trump also, but he's still better than Joe Biden. Of course, that horsefly that was here a minute ago is better than Joe Biden. But Governor Lee is on his last term. He doesn't have to worry about the approval of the people anymore. And like I said, as far as my knowledge goes, here in Tennessee, if the governor declares a state of emergency here in Tennessee, he pretty much has full power to do whatever he wants to do. So that's what I see happening. That's what I see coming. So know that and get ready for that. Hopefully I'm totally off. Hopefully it's not going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But if you look at everything going on now, what they're saying and things, it's going to happen in my opinion. We'll know here in another month and a half, 2 months at the most, how it's going to turn out and what it's going to be. But like I said, in my opinion, more lockdowns, more mandates, more injections, more of all that went on the last time, except even worse, especially for us here in Tennessee. Because our governor has shown what he actually is. And he's on his last term. You don't have to worry about votes or anything like that anymore. You don't have to worry about public approval. It's going to come, in my opinion. He is going to turn into a dictator here in Tennessee. As far as this pandemic that's coming up and all these lockdowns and mandates and things goes. So, like I said, hopefully I'm wrong. Know what you think in the comments below. If you agree, give it a thumbs up. If you disagree, give it a thumbs up, because you're entitled to your opinion like I'm entitled to mine. But I'm basing my opinion on what I'm seeing happening, what they're talking about, and where I see things going, because it's pretty much obvious what they have planned. I don't know if people's going to abide by this or not. Probably. They did the last time, and most people have no clue what's actually going on. I still see people now with masks on here. Not very often, but I'm seeing more and more of that already, because they're talking more and more about the COVID on the nightly news. So people's getting nervous, putting their mask on and things already, without even being mandated to do so. So I think it'll be like last time, except much worse here in the state of Tennessee. Because our governor, like I said, is a rhino Republican, a closet liberal Democrat, far left, and the way the laws are in Tennessee, he can't declare a state of emergency. The state Congress can't take his powers away like they did to the governor in Kentucky up there. So, I could be wrong about that. That's why I understand the law. If I'm wrong, let me know. But also state where the law can be found at to prove me wrong. Don't just say you're wrong, you're an idiot, or whatever. Put it down in the comments what the law is, where I can find the law, and how much power he's going to have if he declares a state of emergency. Anyway, like the video, give it a thumbs up. Like I said, if you didn't, give it a thumbs up also. Leave a comment below. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do that. And if you know someone in Tennessee that needs to see this video, and share that with those people, or anywhere else for that matter, because it's not going to be just here in Tennessee. It's going to be worldwide, nationwide, in my opinion, worldwide. We saw it the last time pretty much worldwide, at least in all the NATO countries. You know, United States, Canada, Australia, and right now I saw that Australia is implementing a cashless society. They're pretty much going full globalist, what they want here. So all this is coming, guys. If you look at it, it's easy to see. If you studied this any at all and know where they want to take us, it's easy to see the journey they're taking us on. I'll see you guys next video, hopefully.